Hey family, listen, I hope you are doing good. I wanted to share with you quick information and please make sure you subscribe, share, comment right below this video. So listen guys, what's happening in Australia. Without taking further long time, I wanted to share this information with you and make if you're first if that's your very first time on this channel, I welcome you, and please make sure you subscribe and turn the bell button on so you can stay connected with me. So listen guys, what's happening. So in Australia right now, in each state, because of course Australia has different states, and in each state, people cannot travel from one state to another state without getting a jab. So I don't even want to say the other word because as soon as I said it on my other video on another channel, it was taken down. So that's what I'm, wanted to say the word jab, J-A-B. So even traveling, like could you only imagine traveling from, if I'm in Texas, so Texas to Oklahoma, and you need to get jab in order for you to travel. That's what's called tyranny. So pressure and also limiting your travel or food or anything possible that can force you to do what their wishes is, the government wishes are. And that's why it's getting really out of control what is happening in Australia. Because if you want to go from one state to another state, you have to get that. It's a requirement, it's a mandate, and it's like a prison, forcing. And Candace Owens recently was talking about, freeing the Australian. The Guardian, one of the newspaper, went on to say that Candace jokingly said that invade Australia because that's a good time. But the Guardian written article on her, and they were like going on and on, like flew off the handle and just got the whole narrative switched around. So it says right-wing pundit Candace Owens suggests U.S. invade Australia to free an oppressed people. The high-profile conservative commentator described Australia as a tyrannical police state during an episode of her self-titled TV show. Outspoken conservative political commentator Candace Owens has suggested the U.S. military invade Australia in order to free its people suffering under a totalitarian regime, while drawing comparison to Hitler, Stalin, and the Taliban. Owens made the comments on her self-titled Daily Wire television show earlier week, declaring propel the planet into a ideological and psychological global war. When do we deploy troops to Australia? Question mark. When do we invade Australia and free and oppress people who are suffering under a totalitarian regime? When do we spend trillions of dollars to spread democracy in Australia? She asked. So while U.S. right-winger commentator is keen to portray Australian suffering under tyranny, the public health measure adopted by federal, state, and territory government has been overwhelmingly supported by the population. So the narrative, if any particular journalist wants to take or bash you or take a personal revenge or grudge against you, or wants to upgrade you to any particular standard, or whether be on your side or against you, can also tell by their comments, how they make comments. Because the Trump, they want to destroy him, they wanted to destroy him. And that's when you'd see in Trump rallies that some of the, not all of them, but most of them, I should say, most of them journalists like went really and asked him really hard questions, and tried to get him to say something that he so they can write the narrative on. So same thing happening with anybody that they hate, they don't agree with. They just want to make them out to be a villain, and that's what's with Candace Owens is happening. The right winger, the political strong, the far right winger is making these comments on Australians. So it's a decision of population of Australia. It's not the government decision. So why even the right winger out of America, Candace Owens, trying to, you know, enforce her own belief or opinions, or even suggest to invade and compare them to, or their government to Hitler, Stalin, and the Taliban. So these are what's happening in Australia, because if you didn't get it, if you are refusing to get it, then you don't have a freedom. I know there's a lot of people been wondering like what's happening exactly in Australia, and this is what's happening in Australia, because if you don't take the jab, you cannot go out or buy or sell, or you know, these kind of things. But I don't know how far it is, how much of it is happening, how restricted the things are. If either the military in Australia is distributing the food in the houses of Australians, or Australian has to go out. I think if somebody's out there who are from Australia, I know there is a bunch of people, a lot of some of the people that on my YouTube, they are from Australia, and they have asked me numerous times that I should remember them in prayers and pray for Australian, and but they were not very open to like exactly what's happening in Australia, because sometimes I don't want to even believe the news, what they are exactly saying. So or their narrative, because again, they are going to be, it's going to be really depending on whose side they are, because however, if they are on one side and want to bash the other side, they're never going to tell the truth. So that's all. So make sure, guys, you take the moment and subscribe this channel, and stay in touch. God bless you. Have a beautiful day.